Welcome to the Comics Fu Show.
I'm your co-host Patrick Lugo, and with me is co-host Curtis Fujita.
As a kid, I loved Kung Fu movies, so I went to Chinatown, trained with a wise teacher, and became a Kung Fu master. Sounds simple, right? Not really. My journey, like the study of Kung Fu, was as arduous as it was rewarding, filled with as many secrets as revelations and as much heartache as triumph. It's a defining moment in my life, and while I began studying Kung Fu to learn how to fight, what I discovered was a way to live. Martial arts never came easy to me. I was far from talented, and even farther from being the chosen one. It was only through years of tenacious perseverance that I was able to make steady progress. And so, I was surprised when my master told me that I should teach Kung Fu and share the art outside of Chinatown. I did just that and taught Kung Fu to my own students for 20 years. I always wanted to do more to share the art of Kung Fu with others, but was limited by only being able to teach those within my immediate area. What about the rest of the world? Then one day, I had one of the deepest insights about Kung Fu. I realized that the punches, kicks, throws, and myriad of martial maneuvers are merely the delivery system for the true essence of Kung Fu, the philosophy and way of life. Having worked for years as a professional artist and storyteller in film, animation, video games, and comic books, I realized that I could draw upon this unique skill set to share my passion for Kung Fu with the greater world. And so I created Shadow Ghost, a Kung Fu comic by a Kung Fu master. The first issue is created entirely by myself, from story and art to colors and lettering. Every panel is filled with unprecedented accuracy in its depiction of Kung Fu by a comic book creator who knows from first-hand experience what it means to be a Kung Fu master. Shadow Ghost is a martial arts coming-of-age story about a young man whose search for the truth about a legendary hero leads him to study Kung Fu, and through a twist of fate becomes part of the legend himself. For the first time in comic book history, you can immerse yourself further in each issue with Kung Fu Skills technology, powered by Tiger Crane Kung Fu. Scan the QR code at the back of the comic and follow an exclusive link to an online instructional video where I teach you Kung Fu techniques featured in this series. With Kung Fu Skills technology, you can do more than just read about the Shadow Ghost saga. You can become a part of it. The first issue is completely finished and ready for print. All that's needed is for you to make a pledge of support so that we can fund the printing of the first issue. Together, we can share the wisdom of Kung Fu with the greater world. Shadow Ghost is the story of Kung Fu. It's about the people, the art, the culture, and the philosophy. It's my story and the story of those that I've learned from, taught, fought, and loved. Join me and become part of the vibrant legacy in a place and time where we might not be the chosen one, but where we can make a choice to be part of something bigger and greater than just ourselves. I'm Sifu Curtis Fujita, and this is Shadow Ghost, the Kung Fu comic by a Kung Fu master.
Hi, I'm Plugo, author, illustrator, comic creator, and the art director for Kung Fu magazine for more than 20 years. But I'm here to talk to you about a project that's really special to me. It's the middle grade graphic novel, A Tiger's Tale. Imagine the story of tigers and dragons and martial artists and monsters. So when I launched the campaign for A Tiger's Tale Volume 1, I did not know what to expect. But it succeeded thanks to a group of passionate backers It was also awarded the Make More Comics art grant that year and was later featured as part of an art gallery exhibit. And that's why I'm coming to Kickstarter, to cover production fees, printing, copy editing, things like that. Books completed, with the exception of a few pages I've set aside for color over the course of the campaign. This turned out to be a popular feature of Volume 1's campaign, so I thought I'd bring it back for Volume 2. I think it's going to be great fun for everyone. Hope you'll support the campaign. I'm very excited about it. Thanks for stopping by.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the Comics Fu Show, Curtis, where we stand at the crossroads between comics, kung fu, and all kinds of crazy pop culture. I keep switching it around there a little bit around the edges.
So smooth, so smooth. You got it. All right. Well, let's first of all, let's introduce ourselves. We're so excited about our guests, we forget to let people know who we are, even though everybody should know who we are by this point. So I usually go first, but I'm going to hand it to Patrick this time. So Patrick, why don't you introduce yourself, and then I'll go after you.
I'm Patrick Lugo. Online, you can find me as Plugo. I'm author, illustrator, comic creator. My most recent graphic novel is A Tiger's Tale Volume 2, which is currently on Kickstarter right now with Volume 1. We are at 103% as of today, but our real goal is to make 100 backers, of which we have 64. So we have 18 days to recruit a bunch more, and I'm excited to see that happen.
Which is a good amount of time. I mean, both of us started our campaigns at the same time. We're not even at the halfway mark yet, and we're already fully funded. We made a lot of progress, but we can always use more help, more people, more backers. So definitely check us out. But yeah, and I'll introduce myself. I'm Curtis Fujita. I'm the creator of the comic book Shadow Ghost, comic book creator, also a Kung Fu instructor. And again, back to Shadow Ghost, it's the Kung Fu comic by a Kung Fu master on Kickstarter. Like Patrick, fully funded as of this time. And we just hit our first stretch goal. We're moving forward, but we'd love for you to check out both of our campaigns. So please keep an eye out for Tiger's Tale Volume 1 and 2 and Shadow Ghost #1 on Kickstarter.
Curtis, I noticed that you're wearing a new hat.
Oh, this right here? What's great about this is it also accompanies my officially branded Shadow Ghost shirt. So yeah, we have the the Shadow Ghost merch store. So thanks for the setup there. You can check it out, shadowghost.com store. I know a lot of people have liked the yin yang logo that I created. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can get on there. And while we're talking about it real quick, maybe I can just, before we hop to our guest, I'll just show you folks. There's lots of, maybe I'll show that later. But yeah, you can check out the site.
Oh, I mean, your yin yang logo has already got so much buzz about it.
Oh.
I mean, I see people comment on it wherever you post it. I see someone saying you could do amazing things on, Final Cut Pro with that logo or something. There's always someone that's inspired by that little bit of design, which I think is great.
Yeah, sometimes I kind of go like, hey, don't forget I have a comic book too. I know you're interested in the logo. Here's the actual site if you want to take a look at it. All sorts of cool merch, bucket hats, snapbacks, shirts, and even we have kid sizes. We even have cell phone cases. So there's a lot of cool stuff. But it's theshadowghost.com, and it's the store section. So, but enough about that. Let's talk about our guest, don't you think?
Without further ado, right?
Yes. He is an independent recording artist, Kung Fu practitioner, a very talented individual, collaborator with myself and a lot of other people, and just all around great guy. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the show, Mr. Capitan Walas. Hello, Wallace. How are you? Oh, I think the connection's a little off. Let me see if we have. I can't quite hear me. There we go. Oops, I did that. Give me a second. I'm gonna fix your mic. There. Hey, Wallace.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
What up, Wallace? ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien. I'm doing good myself. Thanks for inviting me. I'm very, very good to see you guys. Thanks for the word to introduce me. And so for the people who don't know me, this is the Capitan Walas, the guy behind this mask. So I'm a musician. I'm a martial art practitioner, especially in Kung Fu. And I'm a Kung Fu fan of everything of the anything about Kung Fu, something, like you guys. So I'm very happy being here. So thank you.
Yeah, it's great to see you, Wallace. Wallace, your connection seems, Patrick, it seems a little bit off. It's a little slow. Why don't we, if you want to, I don't know if you want to try and play around with the connection or switch to a different device. Why don't I show the music video that you did for Shadow Ghost, and that'll give you a little bit of time to go ahead and maybe just, you can relog in or just play around with the internet setting.
Okay, sounds good to me.
All right, so I'm going to just take you off for right now. So again, that kind of brings us up to the fact that, Wallace, not only is he a Kung Fu brother, which means that we trained at the same martial arts studio, he also collaborated on actually the first time people really saw the Shadow Ghost comic book, which was actually in the form of a music video that he did with the talented Alan Yip called Drunken Tiger. And that was a little while ago. So, but we were able to pull it together with.
I have it.
You have
right here.
Yeah. So let's check it out. It's All right, and we're back. Wallace, how's it going?
Hey.
All right.
Like,
Yeah, no. That was,
I still love that
I'm
video.
still
Yeah.
in love with that, and I'm in love with your hat, Curtis. I'm in love with your hat.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And yeah, and you can get that hat on the shadowghost.com store.
Of course, I'm gonna get one. Sure,
Yes.
I love it. I love the Jin Yang style, like Jin Yang evolution, kind of.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Well, I was like going back to that music video. It was like so exciting, such a good time, and such a great collaboration. So yeah, thanks, Wallace.
Oh, thank you, guys.
The great thing is that soundtrack is available on Instagram. So it has been the soundtrack to so many Instagram reels and stories. Yeah. It's got the perfect vibe, and it's always just like easy to find. Yeah, so I mean that in and of itself is great. So congratulations on claiming that territory, Wallace.
Yeah.
No, I mean, thank you for the collaboration. Open a lot of doors. A lot of martial artists around. I don't know, Europe and South America and even Mexico. They play in the reels, like Patrick said. So I'm so glad. I mean, people relate the song with Kung Fu, and that's awesome. Like. I don't know. I was watching this morning your post, Curtis, about the Shadow Ghost, talking about how you want to promote the martial arts, and it's so cool. I mean, I was like very, very, very deep and interesting at the same time. So the passion that like guys like Patrick, like you, putting in these things, so. I don't know. It's kind of a good thing for the Kung Fu world.
Oh, definitely. I think all three of us, right? I think all three of us in our own unique way with our talents are trying to put information about Kung Fu and how much we love it, and, Patrick and I are doing it through the comic books and, teaching Kung Fu, and you're doing it through your music and, social media. And it's nice. We all have the same goal, but we're doing it differently, which is really cool,
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
Yeah. Well, excellent. So kind of funny thing, Wallace and I never met in person until November, I think. Like we did the whole we did the whole music video to get like collaborate on, but we didn't meet until November at YC.
I know. And I went to meet Patrick in person actually, because I think we are neighbors, right?
We're just, I'm in Alameda, so I'm just on the other side of Oakland's Chinatown. So,
right here, like 5 minutes away from me.
Yeah, exactly. It's somewhere out there, right? I recognize some of the backgrounds that you shoot in. I'm like, oh, I know where he is when he's doing that shot. So, yeah.
So yeah, of course. So probably next time, like Curtis come to Oakland, so come to home and let's practice some Kung Fu actually.
Yeah.
Together.
Be a jam session.
We'll shoot a music video on location or something.
Yes. Oh, that's could be super good. Super good. We can invite some friends, some Kung Fu artists. Mm-hmm. We can do some lion dance. I don't know.
Definitely. Wallace, just so people can know a little bit more about yourself, maybe you can talk about your background. Which came first, the music or the Kung Fu, or was it the same time? Which came first for you?
Wow, to me, the music, of course. When I was like, I don't know, 13 years old, I'm very interested on the rock and the punk rock bands, that kind of things, and I started to play the guitar. And I had my band, my punk rock band, with my friends. Mm-hmm. And yeah, after all, we start writing a lot of music, and I don't know, I was always like taking the music like very serious, because I don't know, it's one of that things like you got and you cannot like be without, and yeah, after the music, we start to, because I remember now when I was kid, my father and I was watching movies like the Bloodsport. You remember the Bloodsport
Yeah.
or the Enter of the
Classic.
Dragon classics. My dad was like, "Watch that," and I was like, "Wow, Van Damme is so cool." And you know, and little scary because I was a little kid, you know. But yeah, after the music, so I think one thing comes with the other one, and I started to watch the He-Man movies, you know, in that time, like 2008, maybe,
Mhm.
probably. Nine, I don't remember really well. And I was like, oh no, I want to do that. I want to start to doing that. Because when I was kid, I tried karate a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and I was just quit. Like, no, I was a little kid, and I don't like it, that, you know. But yeah, when I was like 22, I started to do like Wing Chun
Nice.
and with my friends. And actually, one of my friends is a teacher now. It's a master, the Wing
That's
Chun.
great.
And yeah, and I'm start to moving around cities. I live in Mexico City, then I moved to the Caribbean, South America, and always I was looking for kung fu teachers, you know.
Mhm.
And I meet a lot of guys around, like different styles. And then when I get California, man, I met Sifu Ice Wong, and the story is just like, I was like, oh, this is what I'm looking for, you know.
Definitely. That's
Definitely.
it's funny. I don't know. I think all of you may agree, but I always find it interesting in the Kung Fu community or in the Kung Fu world. There's so many people that are Kung Fu art and musicians, and then people that are into maybe science or things like that. All those people are in the Kung Fu community. It seems to attract a lot of that personality,
Right.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I seen a lot of that, and yeah, of course, musicians, a lot of do kung fu or
Yeah.
another martial arts, you know.
Mhm.
What about you guys? How you started in the
I'll let,
kung fu world?
I'll let Patrick go for it, Patrick.
Yeah,
Well, you know, I have two older brothers, so they were into karate and kung fu. They were right at the perfect age for the Bruce Lee phenomenon. I was very young, and I would always see them, fighting with each other and sparring and going to. When they would go to classes, I would follow and I would kind of be in the background. So it wasn't long until I started taking taekwondo, and that, you know, was an introduction, and then I would just look for other things. I looked around for jujitsu. I fell in love with jujitsu right at around high school, and that was a lot of fun. And then I found Wing Chun right at around college, so that was like just in time to be like part of the Kung Fu club in art school. And then it just and then by that point it started becoming a thing of, finding work and then working my way west. So when I finally went to look for a job and it was for Kung Fu magazine, I was like, I know a little bit of Wing Chun, and that helped, that helped get the foot in the door. I rat stepped into the front door, I guess.
that's so
That's
cool.
great.
Yeah,
And you, Patrick, it's such a unique position. You got this. Talk about being able to get this worldview of kung fu, or it takes a lot to get into the kung fu community and like the grandmasters. But Patrick was like in this very special position along with Gene Ching to see so many grandmasters and so much interesting kung fu. So I always respect that. That's really cool.
I mean, the great thing was like the many seminars that that the magazine would host, so we could just at any point just, you want to work and you want to show up on Saturday and practice kung fu, practice some tai chi chuan or whatever, you can do that. So we would pick up seminar, and then during the photo shoots, all the masters they felt that once they were on the camera that we were going to test them, so they all wanted to show a little bit of
the
something.
best. Yeah,
And so there was always some kind of like lesson that they wanted to convey. And
Cool.
so we'd be taking the shots, and over time I learned to let some of the younger people, some of the younger employees, get within arm's reach of the masters.
That's smart. No, definitely.
I was on the clock. I couldn't just take the time to enjoy the pain.
No, you're smart. It's like when I would go to Hong Kong with our Sifu YC Wong, as a class we would go sometimes, and he has his
Wow.
we call him Yat Si Hing, number one, the first kung fu brother, right? His name's Thomas Lo. He looks like a librarian, but he's one of the deadliest martial artists I've ever met in my life. He's scary, right? Really scary, and nothing but practical movements. My Sifu used to say, Curtis, if you spar with him, you'll win because you're younger. He goes, but if you fight him, he'll kill you, because he's so practical. So one night we were at Lam Zhou, right, our grandmaster of Hongga's birthday party, and we were at the birthday party. It went too late, so Thomas couldn't take the subway back home, so he needed to stay in somebody's room. So he stayed in the hotel room of me and my kung fu brother Russell. And all night I would ask him, Sihing, how do you get out of this? And he would do it to my classmate Russell. He would and he hits hard. He would elbow him in the chest. He'd smack him in the face. And I would sit there with my sketchbook and draw the moves out, because this is before cell phones. And all the night, well, what about this? And he beat him up and he'd do this. And that was how I spent that night. I was fine, right? Because I let him get all the hits.
Wow.
So is that kind of similar,
Somebody's got to take the notes, right?
Exactly. So yeah, good times. Wallace, you were maybe getting back to your music. You were talking about you started out with punk music, right?
Oh yeah, I love punk music. I mean, I used to play a lot of punk music, but now I'm a little old for that. But yeah, sometimes I feel like, oh, okay. Yeah, like I know, I love Green Day. I love the Ramones.
Mm-hmm.
I love South American punk rock.
Nice.
Like the Rancid stuff or the Misfits, all these kind of bands. And Pennywise, I love Pennywise also. Oh,
nice.
Many times. Do you like punk rock, guys?
I like some. I hope I don't alienate myself. I'm actually a little bit into hip hop. I like all types of music, but I think there's one genre that I really focus on. It's hip hop, but I like all types. But what about you, Patrick? What's your?
My musical tastes have changed with the wind. So there was a time for punk and industrial gothic, like New York City, Trent Reznor school of music. Then it went from there to full on, house and rave, peace, love, and unity kind of stuff. So it's gone the full spectrum, and then on the West Coast, it's gone from reggae to EDM. So
yeah, same thing here. I think so. I mean, same thing with me. I love music, and now I'm doing a little of meditation music. So
really
kind of
nice.
Yeah. So it's so much different than like pop music, like I always do. But it's pretty. It's beautiful, that kind of music.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very often I'm the visual artist amongst musicians. So I know a lot of, I know a lot of musicians who are like classical guitarists and jazz saxophonists, or so it's, or they do a cappella chorus for the Oakland A's or something, all these different other kinds of musics, and I'm just the guy who's doing the art. Sometimes I'll do the art for their labels and stuff, but it's always been this bizarre thing where I often find myself around these musicians who are doing, they might be playing tabla, Indian tablas, or, the Zen flute, the shakuhachi flute. It's just always this curious thing of me being the visual artist amongst all of these musicians. So Wallace, you would fit right in on some of these,
Of course, I'm thinking now. Of course, let's work on my next one. Of course, thanks for saying that.
Yeah. We had a Cornelius Boots on last time, and he did the Japanese Zen flute, the shakuhachi flute, and he did the performance. It was really cool. I was thinking of you, Wallace, because the thing that I love so much about your music is you're so open-minded. I always kind of get the feeling about Wallace. It's like, well, why not? Why not just try this? Like with the Drunken Tiger song, why not have the guqin with the guitar?
Yeah.
Why not? Great. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the I mean, it's with a lot of respect. So, I feel part of the community too. And it takes me like couple years to to feel like I can record the chin, I can record the air cool, because it's very traditional, the Chinese culture and that kind of aspects like music or kung fu or arts. So they very like not close, but very traditional in their style. So yeah, it takes me couple years to decide like, okay, I'm gonna try to mix this, but with respect, and yeah, the results is like my music now, and I'm enjoying a lot. And now when working with the kung fu, it's like my dream now. I'm dreaming now, because it's the kung fu and match with my music, because in other times when the music didn't match, with the kung fu or things like that, but now is, I think, everything going like, this is me now, like full of me. It's not like only one part of me.
Definitely. Maybe, and for those of you that don't know, Wallace just released a new song today. A new song came out. It was today, right?
Oh yeah, it's today.
Yeah.
You can pre-save now. It's everywhere. And yeah, it's a collaboration with a artist from San Francisco. Some killer vocal. His name is Tobias Hawkins. And yeah, the song is out there. So check it out. Mana Sitene, the drummer of Michael Frantis on the drums there. And so the song is like really, really good. I mean, I love it. I cannot say anything,
We're going to play it in a little bit. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about how that song came to be, how the collaboration, how did all that come together?
Yeah, like Patrick mentioned, artists always like work together, and I got a lot of friends like doing different paint, or they do like dance or another kind of art. And some friends invite me to play in a band for a night. Hey, Wallace, come to play a gig with us. And I was like, okay. And we play a gig. And then after that, I meet this guy, Tobias. And I don't know, he's like when you see him, he's like a rock star, he's like, you feel that kind of, you do that energy. And yeah, we start talking about like, hey, let's do some songs, and we start to collaborate. He recorded with us, with Dave and I, in Secret Studio, and he killed the record. I mean, always people spend like hours, especially vocals, doing like songs, and this guy just come and kill the song. So it's very, very good sounds, good guitars. The bass line is good, and of course got all my vibe. So I think you guys gonna like it.
Excellent. Well, maybe we should watch it now. What do you guys think?
Let's
I'm
do
down.
it.
All right. Now I'm going to just move us all out of the visual right now, because it's kind of purposely made to be on social media and be able to see vertically, and so we don't want it to overlap ourselves. So let's go ahead and let me find it. Here we go. I'm going to just remove all of us, and we're going to watch it. So.
Black eyes, hard kissing, Glasgow alone with them. Sad eyes turn to rage. Say your love and see it through. Dead eyes, the slice is true. Ear to ear, I'm just like you. Now you know pain, fear, need. Now I know sin, guilt, greed. Now done, no more of them. Now you know, niche or lame. Now I know, since refrain. Now we ask hearts to change. Pay the cost, release the pain. Say you don't wanna fight, let go, toast the line. Say you don't wanna fight, let go towards the light.
Awesome. Very cool.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, I love it. I love the sound. His voice is great too. And I saw you snuck in some Gongchi Fuk Fu in there, some Taming the Tiger. Kung Fu.
Oh
right?
yeah, you
Yeah,
got that.
that's
But I'm like,
That's
Oh.
awesome.
wait, Kung Fu.
And yeah, I mean that's the Oakland skyline, and there was Lake Merritt there, all sorts of East Bay landmarks for those who know. So
Yeah.
so like I was saying, I always recognize where he's shooting. You know.
you guys got me. Yeah.
Well, I always have to compliment, Wallace, what I like is, music's about sound, but you're always aware of visuals, you always have nice visuals. You understand how to create an image, even when you present yourself, when you come on the show, you have interesting clothes and outfit, everything's staged nicely. That it's a lot of work, right? It's not easy to look that good, right, Wallace?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't know. Sometimes it's like I'm a little crazy, maybe.
I think we all. Well, real quick, my wife just said she likes the song, so she has a very discerning taste. So you must have done very well, obviously.
Oh, okay. I pass it.
Yeah.
I pass it.
Thanks,
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was great, and I love, like, even Wallace. Maybe we can show one more thing. Wallace did a little video for us, right, Patrick, when we started for the Lunar New Year, and even then, I think it may have been done in your home, but even then, it wasn't just like Wallace sitting and doing music. There's a lot of neat visuals of the background and stuff like that. Let's show it, huh? Let's show everybody this, and we can talk about that.
I
as
agree.
well.
Let's do that.
Yeah. All right.
Of
Here we
course.
go. Thank you. Coming right up. And I got it. Here we go.
Hi there, this is Capitan Walas. I'd like to wish Sipsu Curtis Fujita and Patrick Lugo a good fortune and success in their Kickstarter Shadow Ghost comic and a Tiger's Tale comic book. So it's out now, check it out. Y quiero desearle mucha suerte y muchas felicidades a Patrick Lugo y a mi hermano Sipsu Curtis Fujita por su lanzamiento del Shadow Ghost comic book y el Tiger Tales. Chequenlo, están en todas las redes y chequen todo el media, el Instagram.
Excellent, excellent.
Love
Very
that.
cool. Yeah. You know what I like about your music, Wallace, is like it feels good to listen to it. It feels positive, that's kind of a rare thing nowadays. So it's nice to hear something that makes you feel good, when you listen to it.
Oh, oh well, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of like frequencies. It's about frequencies. 'Cause the
They
music
make great soundtracks.
right? Yeah, I'm
Definitely.
trying to work in some animes or some like kung fu movies, especially, or martial art movies. So that's the goal right there.
Yeah.
So I'm still working and writing a lot of music. And,
So do you have you know how like Michael Jackson did Thriller? Do you have like a
No.
music video that you would do that's more of a story, that has a story to it? Like if you had a budget and you could get a crew, like what would be your music video? What would be that story?
Ooh, I have couple in my head. One is like, it's like, remember, I don't know if you remember some video like a challenge, but they are swimmers. They are swimmers, but I want to do like like break dance versus kung fu moves.
Oh,
Like
nice.
some crew start to looking at the other in the park. Like some tennis space, like some tennis park, or maybe in the basketball game, like a basketball game or something. They start to look at each other and start, kung fu moves versus breakdance. Kind of that thing. It's one of my videos.
I like that.
But like you say, I need a budget.
I want
Maybe
to I
I
want
need
to see
people.
I want to see the head spin, but with the Taoist top knot.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh wow, yeah, could be nice, man.
Well,
Yeah, I'm dreaming now.
speaking of crossovers, or your interest in anime and hopefully manga and stuff like that, and comic books, because we're a comic book kung fu show. I have a special announcement regarding Wallace. I didn't tell him I was going to bring this up on the show, but he knows about it, so I think it's okay. So Wallace is going to have a slight crossover with the Shadow Ghost comic book in the first issue, and so this is a little bit of a spoiler, but I'll show you. It's a very subtle thing.
Breaking news.
Breaking news, hot takes coming incoming. Give me 1 second. I just have to adjust this really quick for drama. Thank you for waiting. Let me just move this over. This is live streaming at its finest. All right, here we go. So in the first issue of Shadow Ghost, we have a scene here where the villainous Kingston Yam, he's the main villain of the Red Heron Fist, shows up with his two goons. I'm not going to say more details, but you can tell it's in Chinatown. And if you look here on the buildings, right here in the corner, right here, enhance,
Right
there
there, guys.
is poster for Capitan Walas live concert that's happening. So we're on the first issue, and we already have our very first crossover, and that is with Capitan Walas. He is. I can throw it back. Let me throw it back up there. Let's throw it back up there. One more time. In case you missed it. Because after this, it goes back in the vault, and you won't be able to see this amazing image again until after the comic book comes out. Let me just open it up again, and here we go. One more time. I'm going to zoom in for you, okay, Wallace? So you can see, it'll be easier to see. There we go. So Capitan Walas live concert in Shadow Ghost. So
there is, guys.
There you go. So make sure to check it out. All right.
Oh, that's feel good. Thank you.
Who said that?
Comic book. I can die now.
No, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Name that quote.
Yeah, that would be a great game. We should do that with our. We should just have random quotes that we all have to. All right. So, should I take it? Where this comes from?
I can't guess that.
You used a loaded question. Enter the Dragon, Williams. Right? Gene Ching put that on my most recent article for Kung Fu Tai Chi magazine about shadow ghosts, and he wrote me. It's funny. He says I use that way too. He goes, every time there's a comic book article, I always love using that quote.
Yeah, and he's being forced to use it more and more. It's glorious.
That's a great thing. Excellent.
But I actually had the good fortune to actually quote that quote to Jim Kelly himself when I ran into him at one of the last WonderCons in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Really?
So
How did he take it?
He kind of like, he stood up, he stood back and he just gave me a good nod. And then we told him that we were from Kung Fu Tai Chi magazine, and he got a little bit standoffish because it turned out that he had a little bit of a beef with Inside Kung Fu magazine, our rivals.
Yeah.
So once we clarified that we're not them, we're the other guys, then he was into it, and we just had a great time. I took some shots of him with Gene Ching, but the one thing I did not do was take a selfie, turn around and take a shot with the two of us.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's another one. I have so many shots that I've taken where I'm the guy who took the shot. And I kind of wish in retrospect, I wish I was in there,
No, totally. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Well, excellent. Well, Wallace, what the music videos out. Where can people listen to your music and all those, everything that's going on with you? How can they stay in contact and check all your stuff out?
Yeah, you can find me like Capitan Walas on Instagram. I use Instagram. I'm in TikTok now. I'm everywhere, I think so. I'm in YouTube, Spotify, of course, music for people to like do that platforms. Playlist now. So just find me like Capitan Walas. I'm releasing this year a lot of new music with Bay Area artists and some South American artists too.
Nice.
And so much Kung Fu. You can find me also in Kung Fu Arts in my Instagram. I'm doing like separate links, but same martial arts and my music together. So yeah, just type me and you can find me.
Cool. Wallace, one thing I forgot to ask you about was I saw you posting some stuff that you got to go, I think, to a seminar with world kickboxing champion Kathy Long. How was that?
Oh wow, yeah. Nice you mentioned that. Yeah. It was pretty good thing. I mean, wordless. The Kathy Long, Sifu Kathy Long is my grandmaster. I mean, she does Kung Fu Sanso. It's kind of a Chinese and American martial art, and she does, half of the seminar was boxing and the other half was like Kung Fu Sanso techniques. And both are like amazing. So you always see like people doing like stuff like not unreal, like real. So it's about her, it's like, and she was like very, very deep too. So a lot of experience, and I've never seen honestly a professional fighter before, like how they training. And now she's awesome. So I'm so glad. So when there, it was like here, so the guy from the Bay Area there, and yeah, very, very good. So you know about Kung Fu Sanso?
I know of it, and I know of Kathy Long. I mean, she was huge. I mean, really prolific back in the day. I think I had heard a story about her that it was some interview. I could be wrong, but I think she was jogging one time at night, and some guy tried to mug her, and she just beat the living hell out of him. and ran away and didn't think much of it. And the next morning there was like something on the news about some guy that supposedly got attacked in a park and was in the hospital, and they were trying to figure out what happened.
Oh, yeah, she told that story.
So
She
that's
told
story.
that story.
So
Yeah,
so
she told,
right?
she grabbed the balls and she
Yes.
pulled them. She said that because you know what? She said the guy started to get like that.
Yeah.
So she was like hands. She was just and she yeah, she a real deal.
That's funny. So,
Yeah.
so I heard that. Okay.
That move is not allowed on the lei tai.
Yeah.
It's not a story.
Yeah. And that's the funny thing for in terms of kung fu, right? We have all these fancy names. So the famous name for the grabbing of the groin is always the monkey steals the peaches.
The monkey steals the peaches.
Yeah. And Wallace, you'll appreciate this because you train Hong Ga like me. So in Fu Hawk, in the tiger crane form, there's the crane section, right? The part where you kick and you grab your foot and then you strike low like this, right? That section's called the hungry crane searches for the shrimp. Okay. So when you look at that sequence, the kick and the strike, that's all to the groin, right? So the hungry crane searches for the shrimp is why it's called. So our Sifu never told me, but I read the book, right? Lam Sai Wing, and I'm like, why is it called the hungry crane looks for the shrimp? Okay. Anyway.
Definitely not a kosher move.
No, definitely not kosher. Oh, well, excellent.
Yeah, but yeah, very similar. You know, very similar. The styles, like the Kung Fu Sanso and the Hongar, they like stuff like that. Or even like the Tiger Claw. So yeah,
that's excellent.
You know, martial arts and yeah, I'm fan of the art part of the martial arts. I think so.
Yeah.
But I don't see me. Yeah, I don't see myself fighting. I don't know.
Definitely. Well, I think we're about winding down now. So is there any other updates you want to share with everybody before we kind of start to finish up, Wallace?
No, only I'm just gonna say thank you, guys. I mean, and congratulations for the graphic novel, Patrick. I'm gonna get it this week. I'm gonna sit in my couch and I'm gonna get both of your work, and I'm gonna start enjoying, because it's been like hard weeks for me working. Sure. But yeah, congratulations for the. I share with friends like Kung Fu, and they are like my friends, so just enjoy it. And I would, my friends are already fans of the Tiger Tales too, and yes, so congratulations, guys, and for the Shadow Ghost also, Curtis. And
thank you.
We are friends, and let's still doing this. Let's still spread the Kung Fu world, and let's still working together, because when you do the things with love, so that things happen.
Definitely, and congratulations to you and all the great music and stuff you're putting out, and we look forward to seeing more. So, all right, take care, Wallace.
Thank you, brothers.
Thank you.
I have one final announcement before we go, Curtis.
Yes, please.
Something I've been wanting to share with you on the topic of art.
Yes.
I've unlocked this one new reward tier. I think I was telling you a little bit that there's one underboss that I've been wanting to refine their monster design. And so I thought this would be a great opportunity for someone who really wants to be a part of this whole process to literally become a part of the process by having their likeness become part of one of the underbosses in the finale for A Tiger's Tale.
Yeah.
Brand new tier. I just came up with it today. Just cooked up this graphic and kicked it live. So we'll see if someone goes for it. If someone wants, I've been asking people to unlock their wuxia warrior, but maybe someone wants to really just monsterize themselves instead. So
That's great. And I don't think it's a matter of who's going to do it. It's who's going to get it first. So, it's one of one, right?
there can be only one. So
Nice.
to quote one of my favorite immortals, right? There are so many, more than 8.
Yes.
But yes, so there can be only one backer who, if they're so inclined, can find themselves, find their fate in the pages of A Tiger's Tale, Volume 2.
Excellent. You can, of course, find that on Kickstarter. And again, I really think it's clever. It's Volume 1 and 2, so you can get either one or both. If you've gotten the first one already, get part 2. If you haven't gotten on the bandwagon, you can get 1 and 2. So check it out. Definitely. Absolutely. And then, before we close out, just, a reminder, for myself and what we have going on Shadow Ghost, don't forget, if you like to go ahead and, you like the logo, you like the yin yang logo, you can definitely go ahead and get your own merch. You can get it we have shirts, we have Shadow Ghost shirts, all this cool stuff, hats, lots of neat stuff. So check that out. And of course, also on Kickstarter right now, our campaign, we just hit our stretch goal where Patrick and I both have, we're only not even halfway yet. So we have a lot more to come. So please check us out, back it, and share. It really makes a big difference when you folks share. We appreciate everybody's support. So as we close out, maybe we'll finish with a little visuals as we finish up. And Patrick, what do we have coming up this week for people that they can kind of?
Oh, that's right. We have actually a lineup of really interesting guests. So let me share a couple of them with you right now.
Definitely.
So the first is on Sunday. We're gonna first start off our Sunday with an Ask the Kung Fu Master session, and we've got a special surprise comic writer to join us. So we'll be doing that around 11 a.m., 11:30 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
And then we'll follow that up with an interview with illustrator Leonardo Quiles. I like to say Quills because it just evokes his artistry.
Yeah.
But I met Leonardo a couple of years ago because it turned out that he's a former student of the Shaolin monk Shi Yanming, who
I see.
I had the good fortune of meeting way back in the 90s. He's the first Shaolin monk to appear in an American English-speaking publication. And I was there for that photo shoot, so very satisfying.
And he's Riz's Sifu, right? He's the Wu-Tang Clan got heavily involved with him, and he came.
Exactly, the Sifu to Riza and to a couple of notable actors whose names escape me.
Sure.
And I'll not bore us with me trying to remember those names. We'll just rest assured to know that he also Shi Yanming also had a blink and you'll miss it cameo appearance in the movie Ghost Dog.
Yeah, which is actually a pretty cool movie. Forrest Whitaker and directed by Jim Jarmusch, right? Talking about independent, right? Jim Jarmusch, great director.
Oh yeah, indeed. And then so then that's going to be some of our Sunday stream, and then on Tiger Tuesday we'll have Sifu Brian Cuddle calling in from Geneva, Switzerland.
That's great. I never met him. I'm familiar with him, I know of him, but I never met him. So I'm looking forward to this. This will be fun.
He like you, he teaches Kung Fu online to Choi Li Foot. He's written many an article for Kung Fu Tai Chi magazine. And all around fun person to watch on Instagram with he's got such a keen eye for the camera. So yeah, I'm excited that he'll be coming by so I could just sit back and watch you guys take the deep dive on, what it's like to teach Kung Fu in 2D.
There you go. definitely. I look forward to it. And also, he's also a Capitan Walas aficionado because, as I understand it, he's been using the Drunken Tiger song in some of his social media as well. So
he's a man of impeccable taste.
Yes, indeed.
And I think he's also was a backer to Volume 1, but I don't know. I shouldn't out him like that, right? But
that's okay.
And then finally, this is also I'm very excited to share with you who we could call this like our special Black History Month guest, because we'll have with us the creative director of a publishing company called Conscious Culture Publishing. And give me 1 second. Why am I not able to find his graphic? There it is.
All right.
Mr. Marlon McKenney has been practicing Muay Thai for close to 20 years.
Nice.
As well as, founding his own publishing company where he has focused on the deep history of Africa with his books for young readers.
That's great.
So I just happened to be listening in on a conversation he was talking, and he was extolling the value of physical exercise as part of his process, how important his sessions in the boxing ring are. And so I had to just drop him a DM and just say, hey, we should talk about this, because I mean, plenty of people are asking you about your children's book and your publishing. So let's you and I have a conversation about what it's like to kickbox or to Thai box, let's say. Not that I know how to Thai box, but I've covered it.
Yeah, no, that's great. And definitely sounds like great books about the cradle of civilization. What what's not like. What's not?
Oh, I know. And then the artwork is gore. He sent me some sample images. The artwork is just lovely. And once again, another local, person making things happen here in San Francisco. So
definitely,
it's like I said, I'm very excited that like he's someone we've been trying to schedule something, and I finally was like, I'm just gonna include him in all of the emails as this stuff is developing. And he was like, yeah, I'm in. So. That'll be a lot. And that's just this coming week. We've got more in the works, but, can't give it all away just yet.
Definitely. And if I can just give one more message, we're also, just so that you folks know, we're starting to appear on the Madness Network of Pops Van Zandt. If you know Pops is an amazing person, big time comic book supporter, pillar of the community, right? Pops does it all for the love of it. We were just kind of talking to him. I was just kind of talking today, and he doesn't really. It's not a profitable thing for him, but he is right now trying to get everything together for his StreamYard account, which is what we use here. So he just want to remind everybody that Pops is open to any people that want to do sponsorships with him or anything of that nature. If he can get the live stream stuff taken care of, then he can keep bringing content. And there's just so many people. Or if you want to contribute to Pops, check him out. Pops Van Zandt. You can find him on Facebook at the Comic Book Madness group. So please just keep that in mind. Mm-hmm.
CromCon is happening as we speak, right?
Oh,
and it's just like such an amazing platform for the amount of platforming that we do for the various creatives that we've been interviewing. Pops is doing that by a factor of 10. So, easy equation to make if someone wants to throw a few bucks down to get their logo on a bunch of live streams.
Oh yeah, totally. And he's a hard worker. Speaking of Pops, he did an unboxing of my comic book this week, because the advanced review copy, which brings me, because I remember we were talking about this. I sent out only a handful of these. So one went to Hong Kong, one went to Michigan, and one went to Alameda to somebody very important and special. And I think we have that person right here. So
we do. Let's see how this works. I've got my trusty X-Acto knife, which I use for just about everything.
Excellent.
I actually went to school and learned how to cut out a silhouette with one of these. It's a very satisfying process when I'm attending collage parties, which were once very popular in the Bay Area.
Definitely.
But who goes out anymore, Not when I've got so many comics to read.
Exactly. And comics to make.
And comics to make.
There you
so
go.
here it is. you too can receive your copy of Shadow Ghost
Yeah.
issue
And
1.
as you can see, Pops was happy that I taped it in the Gemini thing. He said that was a mark of success. So,
Yeah, Geminis are, I'm a big fan of reuse and reuse, renew and reuse.
yeah.
I went for the packing tape, so I'm gonna have to get myself some painter's tape for this. And but really, let's see it.
Yeah. First time. So
Look at that.
as you can see, that blue logo says "Advanced Review Copy." That's there's only a handful of those that were printed. So limited, super limited edition.
Not for sale. Are these the same paper choices that you've gone with, Curtis?
Yeah. And so that's by Kablam over in Florida. They'll be printing and fulfilling everything. So the book, everything's in there except for the Kung Fu Skills video access. That's something that will come out with the final. But yeah, so that's the book.
Oh man, I want to thumb through this, but then I don't want to spoil myself either. What a quandary.
Yeah. Well, and this is and again, this is proof that you will get the book. There's a common thing in crowdfunding where you fund a book and you never see it. The book's done because Patrick's holding it in his hand. Ops has one. It exists, so you know that you're gonna get it because it's finished. So, but yeah, good. Well, I look forward to hearing what you think of it.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited to sit back, and I've been trying to carve out more time to read amidst everything else. But first, I have to, I had to do some updates. I had to get that graphic for that new reward tier done today.
Yeah.
And then I had to do all of the graphics that I just showed you for our guests and send those off to everyone. So,
oh yeah, I mean it's nonstop, and the things that. For those of you who don't, I won't go too deep into the grass, but it's a lot of work doing a crowdfunding campaign, and it's amazing the amount of stuff that just pops up. Like I eventually just have to stop. Like last night, I think I stopped at like 11:30. Finally, I said, okay, I have to actually get sleep. But I was going from like 6 to 11:30, and I could keep going. There's just so much to do, and it's that marathon, not a race mentality that I'm trying to adopt. It's really hard not to keep going. But we have
you almost have I have found that I've had to plan out some unproductivity just so that I could say between this amount of time I'm gonna explicitly just not achieve anything, just give myself and try and read a comic, so
and I've been using focus mode a lot on my phone. I'm sure you have too.
Oh yeah, but that's what's great. This one's going on the top of the list as soon as we're done with this call.
Excellent. Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, that's great. I look forward to hearing what you think about it.
I feel like I've read it already, just from the whole process. So it'll be fun to have that, see it with fresh eyes.
Definitely. Well, good. Well, please check out both our campaigns. See what we have going on. And, Patrick's got some really cool reward tiers. What I love about Patrick's campaign, it's very well thought out, lots of different options for people, of all, interest levels or, commitment levels and stuff like that. So please definitely check both of our campaigns out. And we're almost halfway there. So we got a ways to go, but we're doing good, right?
18 out of 30 days, more or less. So
yeah.
We have 18 days left out of the 30. So we're just, we have the better half of a half or more than a half. Curtis, can I just segue and say that I have found something that's queued up for our after credit?
Nice. I was going to mention
that. So that we can continue with our trend of just throwing something random but interesting in the mix.
Yes. So in the tradition of the MCU, we're going to go ahead and finish with our credits, but don't go away because there's always a little extra something at the very tail end. And I'm going to let Patrick cue it because we oftentimes kind of cross wires on here. So I'm going to leave it to him. He's going to go ahead and cue it. Please stick around to the very, very end to see the extra special stuff at the end. And
as a kid, I loved Kung Fu movies. So I went to Chinatown, trained with a wise teacher, and became a Kung Fu master. Sounds simple, right? Not really. My journey, like the study of Kung Fu, was as arduous as it was rewarding, filled with as many secrets as revelations and as much heartache as triumph. It's a defining moment in my life, and while I began studying Kung Fu to learn how to fight, what I discovered was a way to live. Martial arts never came easy to me. I was far from talented and even farther from being the chosen one. It was only through years of tenacious perseverance that I was able to make steady progress. And so, I was surprised when my master told me that I should teach Kung Fu and share the art outside of Chinatown. I did just that and taught Kung Fu to my own students for 20 years. I always wanted to do more to share the art of Kung Fu with others, but was limited by only being able to teach those within my immediate area. What about the rest of the world? Then one day, I had one of the deepest insights about Kung Fu. I realized that the punches, kicks, throws, and myriad of martial maneuvers are merely the delivery system for the true essence of Kung Fu, the philosophy and way of life. Having worked for years as a professional artist and storyteller in film, animation, video games, and comic books, I realized that I could draw upon this unique skill set to share my passion for Kung Fu with the greater world. And so I created Shadow Ghost, a Kung Fu comic by a Kung Fu master. The first issue is created entirely by myself, from story and art to colors and lettering. Every panel is filled with unprecedented accuracy in its depiction of Kung Fu by a comic book creator who knows from first-hand experience what it means to be a Kung Fu master. Shadow Ghost is a martial arts coming-of-age story about a young man whose search for the truth about a legendary hero leads him to study Kung Fu, and through a twist of fate becomes part of the legend himself. For the first time in comic book history, you can immerse yourself further in each issue with Kung Fu skills technology, powered by Tiger Crane Kung Fu. Scan the QR code at the back of the comic and follow an exclusive link to an online instructional video where I teach you Kung Fu techniques featured in the series. With Kung Fu skills technology, you can do more than just read about the Shadow Ghost saga. You can become a part of it. The first issue is completely finished and ready for print. All that's needed is for you to make a pledge of support so that we can fund the printing of the first issue. Together, we can share the wisdom of Kung Fu with the greater world. Shadow Ghost is the story of Kung Fu. It's about the people, the art, the culture, and the philosophy. It's my story and the story of those that I've learned from, taught, fought, and loved. Join me and become part of the vibrant legacy in a place and time where we might not be the chosen one, but where we can make a choice to be part of something bigger and greater than just ourselves. I'm Sifu Curtis Fujita, and this is Shadow Ghost, the Kung Fu comic by a Kung Fu master.
Hi, I'm Plugo, author, illustrator, comic creator, and the art director for Kung Fu magazine for more than 20 years. But I'm here to talk to you about a project that's really special to me. It's the middle grade graphic novel, A Tiger's Tale. Imagine the story of tigers and dragons and martial artists and monsters. So when I launched the campaign for A Tiger's Tale Volume 1, I did not know what to expect. But it succeeded thanks to a group of passionate backers. It was also awarded the Make More Comics art grant that year and was later featured as part of an art gallery exhibit. And that's why I'm coming to Kickstarter, to cover production fees, printing, copy editing, things like that. Books completed, with the exception of a few pages I've set aside for color over the course of the campaign. This turned out to be a popular feature of Volume 1's campaign, so I thought I'd bring it back for Volume 2. I think it's going to be great fun for everyone. Hope you'll support the campaign. I'm very excited about it. Thanks for stopping by.
More than once. So I'm wondering if you could close us out with a little something that, you know, anyone will recognize.
Well, I could do a novelty number for sure, because I've been doing some bass lines with some of my students, and I was pointing out the difference between, you know, a Black Sabbath bass line or the bass line from Rapper's Delight, Good Times, for instance. So, you know, that might be the easiest since I already have that. I mean, the small flute is out, but I'm not going to play all of Heaven and Hell, which is another Black Sabbath. But yeah, what is something shorter that I could do? Nothing that I've really practiced too much lately. But I could do a little bit of that, actually. Yeah, let's do a little bit of Heaven and Hell, because it's kind of anthemic, and then you get to see the flute that a lot of other people are playing. I may or may not do the whole tune, because it's kind of an epic tune itself.